everybody. Welcome back to Tech Sheck, continuing to bring you unique, interesting, insightful stories about what's happening in the Pakistan tech startup ecosystem. And today we have another young up-and-coming group, Mr. Salman Allana from Ryder. How are you today?
Hi, Faruk. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Well, Salman, as you know, we're going in Tech Sheck style. Tell us, what is Ryder? What's it all about?
So Ryder is an e-com logistics startup. We're based out of Pakistan. We started off with last mile, so helping online businesses deliver their products to their end customers.
Okay.
But as a company, our vision is to be, an end-to-end e-com logistics.
Very, very cool. So let's unpack that a little bit. So when you mean e-commerce last mile, what does that mean in Pakistan?
So in Pakistan, that means we help online businesses, whether they're enterprise or home sellers. We help them deliver their products to their end customer's doorstep.
Very cool. Very cool. Interesting. And how is your network currently set up? Is it all internal or are you using third party?
So our USP is the tech that we've been able to put into operations. So in order to maintain that level of visibility, that level of optimization, we have to own our supply chain, or at least a large extent of our supply chain. So currently, all our sorting centers, our hubs, and our last mile agents are managed and owned by Ryder in-house.
Very good. Very good. And how many deliveries are you guys executing on today?
So we've been around for just over 2 years since commercial launch, and in 2 years we've done close to 2 million deliveries. So we've grown significantly. We're talking about 150% year on year, 50% quarter on quarter in terms of volume. So we're still early stage as a startup in this space, but we're excited. We're aggressively stealing market share, and we're growing our volumes every month.
Very, very cool. Great. And how are you finding competitors? What are your traditional channels that you're competing against?
Absolutely. So we see the market competitive analysis in three categories. So there's the traditional players, the ones who've been around, since 1985, 1986, the giants. And their strength is they are everywhere, right? So that's their strength. They've been around for a long time and they're everywhere. But the weakness is that, they are catered for letter delivery. That was the thesis behind these companies. And that's what, made these companies spread and build their operations. So when we see e-com logistics as a product that's vastly different from traditional logistics, we see them failing at scale, due to either the lack of innovation or just the way the different processes are with them. So that's the traditional competitors that we have who've just adapted and are taking e-com deliveries because they're there for the grabs. The second tier of competitors that we see are what we call, second generation. So these are last mile players who came in just as e-com was coming into Pakistan, about 2015, 16. And they're the ones who develop what we call, the portal, right? The tracking portal where you can enter your order number or consignment number and see, okay, where it was scanned a few days ago. So that's what we say as the second generation. And then the third generation is where we consider Ryder and a couple more startups. And these are the startups who've essentially had tech from pickup till delivery. So we've been blessed to be able to launch in a time where things are more accessible from a tech point of view. Architecture is more widely available again from a tech perspective. So third gen is what we consider ourselves, pure e-com logistics with technology from start till end.
Understood. And so out of curiosity, so one thing that's taken a lot of, traction is there are concepts like IKEA, and then there's Airlift, who I guess, are matching, idle transport with delivery capability. How does that impact you?
So, I mean, these are great business models, right? And they work well for point to point or on demand.
Right.
Our focus as Rider is in traditional e-com delivery. So we're talking about the 1 to 3 day space. Our USP currently is not in that 1 hour or 2 hour delivery.
Right.
We work in the same day and next day space.
Okay. That's very interesting now. Well, I think, there's a lot that's happening in Pakistan. There's a lot of changes that are coming. And I guess for you as a startup founder, this is a bit of a unique question. I don't always ask this, but what do you foresee are your biggest challenges scaling this business?
I think that's an interesting question, and the answer to that is almost changing every month, right, or every few months. And if someone had asked me maybe a year ago what is the biggest challenges, I would have answered with strong conviction saying human capital, right? We've got a lot of brain drain in Pakistan, a lot of great people who've gone abroad and are working well. But I see that trend now reversing. So we're seeing a lot of great people coming back. So maybe I move away from that. Then I maybe would have answered saying capital, lack of capital. Mm-hmm. That there's some brilliant founders from places, from all sorts of nooks and crannies in Pakistan, but no access to capital. That's a challenge. But we've seen that trend reverse. I mean, 2021, the numbers speak for themselves. So it's changing so fast that the challenges are also changing so fast. So I think the biggest challenge is that they are continuous challenges. And there's so much that we are yet to face. So as an ecosystem, we haven't been stress tested as yet. As an ecosystem, we're still very new. We're in the pre-seed, seed, maybe touching the Series A. So we've not been stress tested. And I think that's the biggest challenge for me as a founder, that the entire ecosystem hasn't been tested to the way it might have been in the likes of Silicon Valley or Far East, Middle East. So there's a lot of things that maybe we're not anticipating that could be around the corner. So we just have to make sure our foundations are good, our foundations are solid, and prepare for anything that comes our way.
Excellent. Well, a very good answer to a very broad question. So, well, with that, as you know, we try to keep TechSheck fairly short and sweet. Last question. What are you looking for from the diaspora?
Looking for support, looking for, sharing learnings, looking for anyone interested in this space, anyone who's, got experience in this space, who's got value to add. The door is always open. Would love to connect with anyone and everyone and chat more about this.
Excellent. Well, that's great. Well, Salman, thank you very much for being on the show. Always enlightening to learn about young and unique founders like yourself doing great stuff in Pakistan, a very challenging environment, as you have highlighted. So kudos to you and what you're doing. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks, Faruk. Appreciate it.
And to our audience, as you can see, we continue to unfold, unpack, share with you very unique and interesting stories of people who are taking very courageous moves to go into a difficult environment and start businesses and really put a stake in the ground. And with that, all I ask, like, share, subscribe, keep spreading the positive vibe on Pakistan to everybody you know. And with that, I bid you all Allah Hafiz.